Says we're live, so we're going to say we've been live now for 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 2 minutes late tonight, folks. Thanks for bearing with us in our technical difficulties. John and Phil and Jon Zone, number 14, on Saturday the 14th, which is just, what a coincidence. We sure didn't plan it that way. We had no idea that our 14th show would be on the 14th week, on the 14th day of the month that we're in. Did you think that was going to happen, Phil?
No, John, I didn't really realize that. And thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, my special guest to start the show tonight is Phil Strods from Phil Strods. Phil Strods, how do you say your name again, Phil?
I'm going to tell you. Phil Strods.
Strods, I thought it was Strods, yeah. But then I heard people play Strods, and I think that Pete Jive wrote it in his song, Phil Strods, when he sings that song about us.
Yes, he does.
Remember that song?
Phil Strods, yeah.
Phil Strods too. Phil Strods too. You know, damn it.
Yeah, Pete Jive surfing in New York still, or?
He's home, working double shifts at his job, his other job, writing good music, combing his hair.
Hey, John Griffin, I just want to say I love you, man. Thank you for having me on as a guest for 14 weeks.
Did you make any? Do you have any notes for tonight other than thanking me over and over again?
What do you want me to do?
So, do you have any notes about tonight? What's our show going to be about tonight?
Oh, I have tons of notes.
You thought about it a little bit?
And this notepad is just from the show. I keep it. It's kind of pretty cool. What people say.
I should have done it in a notepad. Mine is all a whole bunch of little pieces of paper.
Yeah, well, if you came to my studio, which you have for a few minutes, but yeah, it's not. I don't use a piece of paper and a notepad.
Your studio was awesome. One of my favorite adventures that I went on recently was going to see Phil at his own home studio.
You got a cat?
I have cats. Yeah.
Cat?
3 too many cats.
No. I just listened to The Cure, Love Cats, on the way from the store.
That's a jam. Was it on the radio?
The Cure jams. When they get it, then they get that hook. I don't listen to music when I'm doing my art, but when it's time, and on Fridays I really do it, like before our show, I really enjoy my music. It's, well, I'm into the music. What's just it? There's a button.
What just happened? No, I didn't mute you.
Okay, it's something, because my screen says, oh, that's cool, John. Nice painting. That's a nice background. That's a nice background.
What's the image I was looking for, though? 5590, okay. I'm a little out of it. Did a little too much reading online today.
It's out as a son of a gun.
Look who's that? Look who's that guy in the picture.
I like that.
That's a good...
Hey, that's my studio.
I'm in your studio. I'm downstairs in your studio right now.
Hey, I wish you were, because we're going to go see Miles Over Mountains in about 3 hours.
No, I saw that was happening. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's out on the, up on the patio if you've been to River's Edge. Very, very great bar, great promoter of music. A lot of my friends, your friends have played there. And they have a...
We got to see those guys at the Mackey's. That was really nice. I hadn't seen them, hadn't seen anybody all year, so it was great to see those guys. Somebody like
Mackey's. Did you have a good time?
Mm-hmm. I got a few mosquito bites.
Yes.
But I felt good. It was good. It was a good experience. A lot of good reaction to the artwork. So a few good conversations. Didn't do anything last weekend at all. I don't have any plans this weekend at all either. Mace is playing at the local place tonight, Donnie's Homespun Pizza, on the patio there tonight. So there could be a chance I end up at that.
Yeah, as a guest.
Well, there's a chance I could show. I'm pretty much always a guest at that place, so it's a matter of just me showing up there if I decide to go out or not. But haven't done anything indicator really at all.
When are you buying Donnie's Homespun? So we can have bands.
Yeah, I don't want to buy a restaurant. We had this conversation before.
Yeah, well.
I just want to do art. I don't want to hang art in a restaurant, but I don't want to cook the food.
Well, we could have appetizers. Just a little appetizer kind of a thing I'll do. And, yeah, we'll make it happen. It'll be really eclectic. I guarantee you'll be a hit.
Yeah.
People will come from around the world.
If I had a restaurant, they would?
If we had a restaurant.
If we had a restaurant, would there be food or just music?
Well, not a restaurant. A music venue with some cool food on the side.
Harry Carey just shared our show. The Harry Carey page. Harry Carey, you know who Harry Carey is, right? He just shared our show. Do you believe me? Because he did. Harry Carey just shared our show. And I'm sharing it in a whole bunch of places. The Shoe Family, Conscious Art Alliance, Midwest Local Artists, The Village. Oh, I can't share in The Village. He got called out on that one. Yeah, I shared on Cody's page, his group page, and they asked me not to share any more non-Cody stuff on his page. So we don't share there anymore. That's okay. You know, I share.
Playing tonight at 7?
Where's he supposed to be playing tonight? He played twice this week already.
Sure. When I saw Cody in the field notes at Mackey's concert by the creek, first time to see him, fantastic. Good job, Cody, Jake, and the boys. Fantastic.
I'm just dumping into a whole bunch. I'm just saving it all over the world right now.
You should send it to the world because we had a lot of views last week. Just hits. It's kind of astonishing for me. Or John, maybe not, but we had quite a few hits. People watch us.
My mom watched. My wife.
If you want to talk with us, you can come on and talk on our show. We're just Friday. At Friday, we're going to be doing a live feed coming up. I don't know, should we announce it in a couple weeks?
Well, our live feed? Yeah, we should talk about what we're going to do. We got about 10 more minutes till my guest comes in to do a little interview. So let's talk. So Mace Hathaway from a whole bunch of different bands. The fucking Wacko Hits, man. The Wacko Hits, and what was the other band? A bunch of Hacks, and he was in another band called the River Valley Rangers, and he was in a band called Dark Star Orchestra for a minute. He played with Donna Jean Godchow. He plays as Mace Hathaway now, which is just an amazing show. You may have known him as Tiny or Andy or all these other names, but we're gonna get him on in a few minutes. And yeah, tell your friends right now. Tell your friends we're gonna have a guest, and he's gonna be in the studio, so the sound will be on point tonight.
Mace Hathaway. I was looking for obviously I knew he was coming on. Looking for an old album. Done many for him, and I don't have any because a lot. That's a good thing, so I could do it fast.
I'm just sharing it everywhere right now. We're 7 minutes and 43 seconds in. We came on a few minutes late tonight, folks, because we're not professional, and that's our claim to fame.
Who said we're not professional?
No, we aren't. It's okay.
I know I'm not. I mean, we had a couple thousand hits last week, and I don't know if you're doing something right or.
What I've been told is that people like what we're doing, and they are enjoying it, and it helps keep people together. Apparently, they like our jokes. we don't have that many of. Our show is.
I'm shy, but I have to. I've heard people say, they put it on the back. Doesn't mean they're watching. They put it on when they're cooking or gardening or whatever. It's
You think they should be like making dinner right now, or getting ready to feed their children, or watching? Hopefully, they're not watching the news.
Like
Jeopardy's on in 20 minutes. That could take a few viewers away.
On a Friday, it's blazing here. I mean, it's the humidity. It's unbreathable outside. It's brutal.
It hasn't been bad here.
It's nothing. Here.
You gonna send some heat this way?
Well, no. If you want to, go ahead. Did you get the tornado all around us, but not us?
We did it, but it sure was.
We didn't get it, but it wrecked my 17 feet tripod of cucumber planting, and I put it outside to do some lattice work today.
No, we had some nasty storm. We had serious winds. Oops, a little Mason background there. Give me some background music. We had bad winds. Tom Harmon was out of power for a couple of days. That's why he couldn't underwrite any jokes for us this week. Our underwriter, Tom Harmon.
He's drinking Jack Daniels and listening to Elvis.
He was listening to Def Leppard earlier in the week. It was great. I just thought it was cool, you know. He had a Def Leppard record, and he goes through and he lists all the tracks and how long they are. Have you seen his posts lately? Those vinyl posts he does.
I mean, I am, but I'm not. It might.
He's dedicating himself to like documenting every song he hears.
Old Tom.
Yeah.
I'm glad your car's fixed, Tom.
Yeah,
you're going to a festival. I mean, we've got a couple things coming up, possibly, John. And not possibly. I'm doing one for sure, and I think I'm doing another one. I think you'll be my partner. One is called Sugar Creek. Ever been there?
Sugar Creek at Benton, Illinois. Camp Manitoba is a 4-H camp, sort of like Camp Shaw, only it's in Southern Illinois. Very nice event. That's going to be so much fun. It's a good amount of people. It's really cheap. It's like $55 for the whole weekend. And there's a lot of bands. Cluster Pluck, the Mighty Pines, Rob Koritz and friends from Dark Star Orchestra. A whole bunch of people playing everything. Alabaster. Yeah.
I'll be getting there.
I think you'll really like it, Phil. I think you're going to have a good time. Being your first year, I think you're really going to enjoy.
First time I saw pictures, and it was very, very cool. The gentleman who runs it again?
Evan Betts is his name. Evan Betts is the person in charge.
I've met him, I believe, a few times. He's always wanted, and I'm going to be there down there.
And there hasn't ever been a year where I went to Sugar Creek and I didn't just talk about Phil Strauss and why he isn't there, why you weren't part of my setup, and how much you need to be at that one. So he really, I think it's cool that you're doing it. Phil and Jon Zone, number 14. If you're just tuning in right now, this is me and Phil shooting the shit. That's what we do every week. We shoot the breeze. This is our artwork. Normally we would be set up at a festival, but Phil canceled all the festivals. Didn't you?
No, I didn't.
The unfortunate events of the present time have made things a little more tricky than usual this year. So we get together once a week and we talk about stuff and listen to music and talk about music. We can't listen to much music. We talk about music. We've had some pretty good guests on. We've been lucky to have a ton of good guests on.
Ton. Quite amazing, the guests we've had on. And people want to come on. You're more than welcome. Musicians, people who want to talk about music, you're more than welcome to have a segment. Any sponsors, Caterpillar or Amazon, you want to sponsor us, that's fine.
That'd be kind of cool. They would pay us money to do that, right? And then we just do the show and they pay for it. You might finally get that check.
What do we need? Well, you still haven't paid me from the first show. So just, but, I mean, they pay us.
They don't pay me, buddy. I told you you'd have half of what I get paid, and so far I lied because we've made about $25. So I do owe you like $12.50 at some point. And then you got me those canvases, so the bill is just going up and up and up. Do you have a lighter? Oh, we don't have nothing to smoke tonight, do you?
Way to go, smartass. No, where's my buddy Justin? Where you at?
I don't think he's even logged in yet.
I live in Aurora. I'll be at Miles Vermont's at River's Edge. Anybody? I'm sure I'll see a few friends who are watching. Maybe they're watching. Maybe they're working or should be outside. Unless you're in the water. It's beautiful out there.
I sure love whenever I can.
Up on the deck of Batavia is a great venue. Great. I do believe her name is Melissa. I'm sorry, the owner. It's eclectic on top of the. Saw a lot of good music up there. Aaron Camp and the One Drops, who I saw was a big thing of Sugar Creek through the years.
Aaron Camp did that for 4 or 5 years at the beginning.
Right. So backtrack. So I have some old artwork from Aaron Camp. So made that.
There are actually some vendors that won't come unless he's playing. It's a funny little story.
But I'm going. I'm going because you're going.
Oh, it's a good weekend of music. It's so much fun. It's gonna be a blast. And we'll go kayaking or canoeing. There's water we can get into.
Really?
Yeah, free kayaks, free canoes. $55 gets you a ticket at the door. You're camping, you know, 10 bands, music all night, both nights. There's a lot of music. Like 7 o'clock Friday until we leave Sunday morning, they're playing some kind of music. And kayaks and canoes are free.
And no lady.
And just as the guys' weekend, I guess apparently it's turning into the guys' weekend. Yeah. I'm gonna.
There.
What's that?
There better be girls there. Or not.
It's all guys. It's a men's retreat. And Z and Machete are gonna be there.
Machete and Z.
Chad Ball's watching with us. My friend Nikki Ruffner's watching with us too. We got some good people out there like watching.
Chad who?
Chad Ball. But you know that Chad Ing's real last name is Chad Ball? He just found out like last year that he's been going by the wrong last name since he was a little kid. Would that be screwed up?
Hey Chad, I got a thing for you. I forgot to give it to Chad. I got a thing for River.
He just has to click on the link and he can join us on the show if he wants to. But not I told him maybe later.
Well, I was hoping to see him sometime, maybe at your house, but he had brother or sister came in with your little summer solstice private little thing. So.
Yeah, they would have been at that one, but they couldn't get that.
River's their dog. I see him play with it. Hi guys, how you doing?
I'm gonna put a little sample up here. We're gonna invite our friend Mason in just a couple minutes here. I gotta go to the other room and get my lighter, and I'll be right back. Okay, tell a joke or something, Phil, or just listen.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday. I lock up every time you do it. Anybody in the Katy area? Mountain Mountain's playing tonight. River's Edge. We'll be up there by 8 Sugar Creek Music Festival. Great festival coming up. I think we do have a guest coming up. I do know the gentleman.
You met Mace before.
Well, yeah. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, Mace. How are you? Of course I
got some great records hanging on the wall at my house. That's where that's where my gold record should go someday. I can have you paying a gold record for me.
I will. It's good to see you. I love all your conversations, Mace. I'm glad you're on Phil and Jon Zone, number 14.
At 420. On the 14th of August. In this world, you know. This is my good friend Mace Hathaway, everybody. Mace, how you been, buddy?
I've been sequestered.
Haven't we all, man? Haven't we all? So we're pointing our voices in different directions today as we're hanging out in the room, doing our best to face the same direction, if not each other, unfortunately. Eye contact is an odd thing anymore.
I'm blessed. I live out in the boonies. It's real easy to just get away from the world out there. Just do things that needed to be done forever that you ain't done.
Yeah. Yeah. We're, you know, here in Decatur's not too bad. We're definitely not a city. We're a town. Thinks it's a city, but we're not quite a city yet. You can go to city kind of parts of Decatur, but you can also live in Decatur and not have to deal with a lot of those city parts of town. So and then again, I'm kind of a hermit anyway. If I'm not at a festival, I'm usually in this room during the day, you know. So it's a toss up for me. It's a little bit of a mixed feeling, I guess. Kosha, oh yeah, that's cool. People are checking it out.
How you doing, Coach?
That's what you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, it's good, man. We don't keep track of too much of what's going on there. I just use it for the comments. But yeah, Mace plays in a lot of different bands, going way back to.
Yeah, we got to get set some of that straight now. I'm gonna get hung out to dry by some people. I worked on the road with Dark Star Orchestra. I never played in the band, but I was their tour manager, truck driver,
you were integral in their production for a while.
Yeah. I was into it up to my ears. I basically wore the hat that had about 7 different bills, and I just took whatever job got thrown my way because we really couldn't afford to hire a bunch of different people to do all that stuff. In a band with that stage when I worked with them, they needed someone who could just wear a lot of hats, you know.
What year was that when you were doing
that? From like 2000 to 2007.
Okay.
About 980 shows or something.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, Mace, what's the last time you played in a full band?
The Dirty River Ramblers was when I had the bluegrass band. I had a trio shortly here about 6 months ago with a couple of really great players, and then one of them moved out of state, and that looked like it was getting off the ground, but it didn't. But the Ramblers is something we put 5 years in there.
Yeah, there was a couple albums came out from that.
Yeah.
At least a couple albums. Yeah.
Dirt River Ramblers.
Dirty River Ramblers. Yeah.
Correct. I have a friend, Bootsy, her son, who was 12 years old. He helped me out. I said, I'll do a custom album from any band. He picked your band. He was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
It's on his phone.
That's great.
Now, where were you at when they played, Phil?
Blue Ox. We were at Blue
Blue
Ox.
Ox.
And I asked him, he helped me out. The kids helped me out vending.
Because if he has a record with your name on it, that means he was somewhere where he plays.
The kid had to have seen us somewhere. We didn't make that festival, but wow, that's wicked that the kid knew that it was us.
Were you at my party? Did you see him at my house?
Yep.
And his name is Sherry and Bootsy, and Sherry Bradley and her son. He was 12 at the time, and I never heard of your band at that point, at that time. And
Hey, we missed 420.
Uh-oh. Do your thing.
I don't have any.
He doesn't have any grass knife. Just cheers. Cheers, 420, everybody. If you're in Illinois, congratulations.
If you're in Iowa,
Colorado, great.
you're in
Indiana,
Iowa,
Iowa. Indiana, Iowa, maybe not so much.
move.
Here in the
I
middle.
got invited to by Troy Phillips. I think Still Shine's playing in Davenport, Iowa tonight at some local gig.
Mm-hmm. Are you playing at the Folk and Boogie Retreat coming up?
I already was locked into a show that I do every
Okay.
year on that weekend. I would have. Dustin had me on that in his brain. He thought, oh yeah, Mace will do it for sure. Well, he didn't know that I got something going on. But I hope that goes well for everybody.
It's a good band
involved.
lineup.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I'm going to leak it because they haven't said this yet, but I talked to Leadfoot this morning. They got booked on it.
Yep.
So-
I've seen the list actually. So
Did they post Leadfoot on the list? You've seen the list and the list. I've seen the list too, but I'm gonna just drop a Leadfoot because a buddy's of mine. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, this trip was. Yeah.
Leadfoot play at Mackey's Hideout. Every band played a cover band, and then Leadfoot played Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I turned my head, and I thought it was Sabbath. That's how good they were. So
That's
big
good.
fan of Leadfoot.
Yeah, I love Stevie Red.
Yeah, we should get Steve H on the show someday.
Steve's great. Every time I've had a chance to play music with Steve, it's been amazing fun.
We could have a call into the show and just see if anybody could pronounce his last name right.
Victor, right?
Victor.
That's why
Everybody
Steve,
says a little
Stevie
H,
Red.
Steve Red.
It's shortened.
Steve the Mando player, whatever it is. Yeah. Steve with all those guitars in the shop. Oh my
Yeah, but when he
god.
play guitar.
Hometown guitars in Frankfurt.
I've been in his guitar store though. It's
Yeah,
breathtaking.
he's not just a Mando player. Wow, can he pick the guitar?
Yeah.
No, he's.
He can pick probably anything you put in front of him with one string, or with any strings.
I think a lot of Mando players came from guitar playing, and it was another instrument they picked up and they adapted to easily, you know. And it's good practice for your guitar player because little teeny tiny chords, and then you go back to your guitar and you have all this space on your neck to play with. It just everything gets it's two different registers. But the D, well, no, that's the ukulele. The ukulele is good at that too, but the D is a G and the G is a D and the A is so it's all confusing.
The geometry and the algebra of the whole thing never
Training
made
your
sense,
finger muscles to stay there and hold them tight, you know, and go from place to place. It's very tricky, yeah. Very tricky. Yeah, chatting just said Dirty played the high note. Yeah, they did.
Yes, we did. Great sounding room up there.
We missed the high note. That was one of everybody's favorite rooms.
I've only been there once to the High Note Pete Jive. I got 2 classic albums that are still done there. It says High Note Pete Jive.
I have a painting of yours from that night. Yeah, on the wall.
Good job, Chad.
Yeah, we love the high note. That's always great. We like those videos.
It was one of the really great sounding room. I don't know if it was the way that the Masons built it, but there's something about the geometry of the room. It sounded so good.
And the back porch stage was awesome. You put a lot of work into that porch, the stage, yeah. I mean, the stage was a back porch. It was, yeah. But, yeah, you know. Mace Hathaway, would you like to play a song for us, Mace?
Sure.
Mace is a musician. Hey, lucky us. He might play a tune for us. Okay. Sure that's not important right now. Let's make sure that's locking up. Mace Hathaway, folks. I'm just going to scoot back a
What
little
do we
bit.
do here?
Whatever you feel like, bud. You got anything special you've been working on or anything?
sweet little young boy. Pop said, son, you won't never get far. And I'll tell you the reason if you want to know. This child of mine that just really isn't that far to go. So down to the jewelry store, packing a gun. Wrap it up, I think I'll take this one. $1,000, please, the jewelry man said. The priest said, I'll pay this one here, off in lead. Well, judge said, son, it's gonna cost you some time. The priest said, you know, that crossed my mind. And the judge said, son, it's gonna cost you your life. The priest said, you know, that seems about right. Well, you know, son, you just can't figure. First thing you know, you're gonna pull that trigger. And it's no wonder your reason goes bad. Cause Jelly Roll will drive you stone mad. Baby's gonna lose her sweet man. It's the pre-roll out with their losing hand. Baby's gonna weep and wail for a while. She go out and find another man, gonna treat her oh so in style. Judge said, son, I know your baby well. That's a secret that I can't tell. And the priest said, you know, that's well understood. You gotta admit that this sweet jelly is so good. Well, you know, son, you just can't figure. First thing you know, you're gonna pull that trigger. And it's no one, your reason goes bad. Jelly Roll drive you stone mad. Same old story, you know it's been told. Some like jelly, some like gold. And many a man done a terrible thing just to get his baby shining diamond. Well, you know, son, you just can't figure. First thing you know, you're gonna pull that trigger. And it's no wonder the reason goes bad. Cause Jelly Roll drive you stone mad.
Yeah, man. That's a good one. You Pre's Diamond Blues. Dustin just said happy to let you leak that good news about Letchfoot Man. Oh, Dustin, realize you're watching, but thank you. We did. We've leaked a few things on here. We leaked the album like 2 weeks before it was even released. I played a few tracks on the show. Didn't tell them I was doing it. It's only 2 people that are going to see it, but I want to be first sometimes.
I'm watching it glad it's delayed.
You tell him about his coffee. The Elderbeard blend Java.
Oh, yeah, the Elderbeard brand coffee. The coffee made by heads, the 4 heads. Out heads, keep the heads up, I guess, you know. That's pretty cool when you start doing that.
Ground for the head.
Ground for the head. So I guess if the picture froze up a little bit there, I think when I minimize that window, I think it's working again. If the picture's working, audio was good, that's what matters. Okay. It's moving. I just want to make sure it's moving. It's all technical stuff, you know. We had a couple shows that just didn't, we still don't know what we're doing, but and then the computer decided one day that the internet was just going to stop working for it.
Is this Zoom? Is that what this is?
I do like through a Zoom, so it's like a telephone call they were doing these days.
I don't really know anything about how Zoom works. I use the OBS.
Same idea.
Same, but it's just an open broadcast software.
And then you can take Facebook and you can teach Facebook to just look at one of the windows and share that.
Okay.
So all the sound will actually, the sound goes out really good. I went back and watched the show. The sound's really good. Sometimes the imagery will be a little choppy. There's a couple layers of shit's going through to get to where it's getting.
Well, because Facebook compresses everything on top of the compression that's being part of the other.
And then this is recorded too through the Zoom, so I can have a nice high quality version of it for later. Something I'll release them all on YouTube or Patreon or something like that. Release all the shows that are out there. You know, we've only gotten muted once so far because I played a John Prine song. Because we started talking about COVID or something. Like, well, hold on, we're gonna listen to this song and think about it for a minute. And then they muted that song. I was like, no, all right, I get it. You know, I don't really understand that part of it. If you're a musician and somebody's playing your song, it should behoove you. It shouldn't it shouldn't like, you know, take away from you. Somebody's sharing your music. Now they look at it like it's a money thing where you're going to try to make money off of this Facebook Live video. So that's why you can't use that song because you don't have the rights to it. I mean, that's what it has to come down to is money. But there's no money intended. This is just, you know, people being goofy on the internet. And I don't even know how you get the rights to those songs. And then I don't know, once you have the rights to those songs, how you tell Facebook you have the rights to those songs to leave your video alone. Because, you know, it used to be you could say something in the description saying, I don't have the rights to this music, and they would leave it alone because you admitted you didn't have the rights to the music. But I always give credit if there's music playing, I'll try to express to people what it is and encourage them to listen to it. Because if you pass a song on to somebody, like any song, it's going to just get them interested. If they like it, they're going to want to listen to that band, and they're going to want to listen to that discography, and they're going to listen to that genre of music. And it takes them down a road of introduction of music. You know, when a band is really adamantly against people sharing their music, you know, i.e. Metallica, you know, they stopped.
But then they started the taping section.
Right. Well, but then they also lost a lot of fans when they said you really shouldn't be doing what you've been doing all these years, even though it's making more people listen to our music and it's spreading the word.
I think the Grateful Dead knew that's what was one of the big things that constantly recharged their system, was that their music was out there, and new people were getting turned on to a cassette constantly of reading something new, and there was Bobby
always said that he thought it was a great idea. He didn't think the sound quality was always so great, which it wasn't. But the idea that they could be shared, it was meant to be shared in their songs, and they're not meant to be, you know, sold necessarily as much as they're meant to be enjoyed, and you know, teach people to learn from these songs. And that song there, I know I don't need to go buy a diamond ring. I'm not going to rob anybody, and you know, it never works out good in the end for them.
But I think if you look back, aren't there some? I mean, there's Betty boards, there's Bears recordings, there's, you know, Odie Brother matrices, stuff that ended up becoming Grateful Dead albums, and we wouldn't have those albums if they hadn't have taken the incentive on their own time to make sure that show was recorded for history.
And maybe they wouldn't have even been interested in releasing those live albums like they did because of the access to what was there, you know. Yeah. Did you ever see the Grateful Dead, Phil?
13 times.
13 times, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, with the Grateful Dead with Jared.
Yeah, the old days. I know. You're old, man. I know. It's okay.
I'm old.
You can't forget Phil's here. Phil, you got to chime in every now and then, ask a question or something.
No, I'm enjoying listening to you. Laura's friend came over to help her out, so the dog's barking. No, I'm enjoying let you talk. And time I talked to Mace, I could have been at Jeremy Rollers, but we had a long conversation.
It was John's house. Might have been John's house.
At the farm last year.
Yeah, I remember the conversation at Jeremy's and then at your house. But yeah, a lot of stories. He didn't play with the Dark Star Orchestra.
I was just a roadie. I got to play on stage with them. They got to I played on, I sat in on my birthday.
And then you played with them?
They pulled me up on my birthday one time in Charleston, South Carolina, for about 3 or 4 songs, which was really awesome. For them to feel like the guy who's on their road crew is worthy of bringing up in the middle of a show for some tunes. I mean, that's more than a birthday gift. It's a shout out. And you know, basically they were the ones who pressured me to stop pushing, as they say, stop pushing road cases and pursue my music. They were like, you know, different people throughout the organization were like, you're just not in the right place. You need to be working on that music, because that's, you know, and DJ was the biggest part of that. I have to tell people all the time how Donna Jean ended up being she was there at the crux.
That's when she was touring with them
at the moment. She was there playing a show with us
doing shows,
on 4th of July, and she had been with us there the year before on 4th of July, and then between the 2 4th of Julys, I got to go out and tour manage for her for just a little bit with Donna Jean and the Tricksters. And while we were out with Donna Jean and the Tricksters, we were using my van for some of the people to ride in, and she happened to be, she saw my book of songs, and she was bored. We were hours on the road. She started reading my music, and she's like, and you wrote all this stuff? She's like, and you're tour managing? She's like, she was a big part of it, and she So this
Talking
4th,
about Donna Jean Godchow,
Yeah.
Grateful Dead here.
this 4th of July rolls around, and she plays the band has worked up a song that she hasn't got to play in many years, Sunrise. Because when she wrote it, it was in a really tough key already. And so every time she wanted to play it years after she wasn't even in the band anymore, her voice had changed some, and she couldn't quite play it in that key. So DSO, of course, they take a whole year after finding out that she's uncomfortable singing it in that key. And in the following year, on 4th of July, they had transposed it and learned it. And they surprised her, and they were like, she didn't even know that she was going to get to do it. It was at Nelson Ledges. Just jam-packed full of people, thousands of people in that bowl
They
around
played
the stage.
Terrapin as well that night?
Yeah.
Sure,
But she sings it, and the crowd is going nuts. The band is going nuts. And that's like this moment when you feel like she should just be absolutely 100% basking in the joy of, wow, of me.
The enjoyment of that.
And
That's
she
a Donna
turned-
moment to that song.
And she turned around, and she walked straight over to me on the side of the stage while the crowd is applauding her. And she grabbed me by the shoulders. And she said, God doesn't give people a voice like that to push road cases.
That's awesome.
And so the next day, when I kind of it had just all worked out that it was my last day. It just and it was
Tour
the
was
4th of
over,
July,
yeah.
and it was the 4th of July. It was an independence of sorts, you know.
That's awesome.
And
I've always looked up to Donna, and there've been times people have dogged her, and it goes back and forth.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gets all kinds of stuff, but
you want
there
to
are
see
moments that are so amazing, and
you
there's
want to
just,
see me turn into the pit viper. You
I
start
have-
talking bad on DJ
No,
in front of me.
no.
You're in trouble.
I have a tape over there.
I can't let it happen.
Upstate New York show from mid '80s or not even mid '80s. It must have been mid late '70s, and they do Sunrise, and it's the most beautiful thing. You can't. It's the prettiest thing you've ever heard. And it's live. They rarely did it. You know, it just really shown. And it took me a long time. You know, that song gets a rap because it's on Terrapin Station. And there's everything that leads up to Sunrise, and then it's the last song on that side was this to tape. And back then it was a record or tape, and then it ended. So Sunrise ended that album, that side. You get excited, you turn over, and you got Terrapin Station. But what was lost in that is that Sunrise was supposed to be next to Terrapin Station, and it is a story about the story.
It's about Rex Jackson passing away.
But it's also in the song she talks about the storyteller.
She
talks about what's going to happen in the next song.
I hope someday.
Story.
She loves to tell the story of where the
I
song
hear her.
came from.
She's
and
coming
it
on
is
the
so
show.
powerful. It'll give you goosebumps. It'll give you goosebumps to your bones because you know they had an Indian shaman, Rolling Thunder, who traveled on the road with them. And when Rex Jackson had passed away, they all got together in the woods to have a celebration. And Rolling Thunder went around and put the tree of life on everybody's forehead. Everybody was sitting around the fire, and he silenced the birds. Like every word that she speaks of, after she tells you the story, it's just, I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm goosebumping up crazy because hearing those stories straight from her is one of the most amazing things I've ever gotten to do listening to someone.
Yeah.
You know.
Very important.
I like real stories, not stories, but real stories.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
From the source, essentially. I mean, that's can't get closer to the source
and
than
the
that.
stories that Mace tells, I can tell that, you know, I mean, it's very meaningful. And anyway, John, how many times have you seen The Grateful Dead?
I saw him 3 times. With
How many
Jared.
times have you seen Dark Star?
3 or 4 probably, actually. Maybe I've probably seen him. I've seen him in different formations at least 4 times. Excuse me, I'd go see him more.
Gonna go see it?
Well, that whatever. You go ahead.
Dark Star? They play right here in Aurora at 5 minutes away every
The
year.
Roundhouse.
Yeah. I go see him again, yeah.
It's right across from River's Edge Park. I saw Bruce Hornsby, Old Shoe backed them up.
You know, there's so many bands that do Grateful Dead tribute style shows, but Dark Star had kind of a niche of doing the show, and just the way they did it, they pulled me.
Well, and
even when John Kay was with them, I mean, they went through a lot of changes too.
There was the many versions of the band from day one in '97 all the way through to now. You've had a lot of great players, orchestras, in true. Like that's the way orchestras are. No one plays in an orchestra forever.
They're parts, and their musicians come in and fill those parts.
That's right. That's right. And well, and you know those things change. And J.K. had an opportunity to go play in the big show with the boys, and that was that was his it was his time to leave the organization and move on. And a lot of other folks, Kevin Rosen was there from early days, and just finally it was just like, guys, I'm ready for someone else to carry the torch. And all there's a lot of the crew guys too were there for a long time. I think Nick is still there, but I think pretty much all the rest of the folks who had been there long term have tried to.
I think that would come hand in hand with a PhD Grateful Dead project like that. You're gonna have people there.
Hey, Mace, how many times have you seen the Grateful Dead?
I got into exactly 50 Grateful Dead shows, and I saw Garcia Band 11 times. And those, I would trade 25 or 30 of those Dead shows for one more Garcia Band show.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really would, because I don't remember them anyway. And so I would trade them. So I would trade them for a show that I could go in and just like soak in like a big sponge, because the Garcia Band shows were just this amazing go to church moment.
In Alpine Valley, I never went into the show because I was in Alpine Valley, and it was just good. We had a good time in the parking lot. I never went into the show. I saw a Rock Kreutzmann band. I saw Philish band in Austin, Texas. Offshoots, South by Southwest, and some of that is the greatest. Saw Brett Midland's last show at.
That was
Alpine. Is that Alpine Valley?
No, Tinley
Park.
Tinley
Park. And a couple months before that, there's a session musician who died. So my friends told me you can never go to a Dead show because someone's going to die in a few.
Jeez, that's heavy. Brent's amazing. Voices, special voices.
I think the thing about it, you can look at their logo, and you can look at the one thing that's most prevalent throughout everything that's ever been drawn or released or shared about the Grateful Dead, and it's in a way they accepted the fact that we're all going to die someday.
Yeah, just
and look at the skeletons, and look at in the kind of a Day of the Dead kind of atmosphere.
The term Grateful Dead, happy to be gone.
A lot of beard off.
Comfortably gone, whatever that means. Yeah. The Grateful Dead. What a band, man. Now I'd like to Proposition Donna would tell them that story for us sometime. That'd be awesome.
It's historical in a way of like classical music that's thousands of years. People are going to study the Grateful Dead. People are going to study Chopin and Mozart. People are going to study the Grateful Dead years from now. What was this culture? What was this thing?
Oh yeah, that's an anthropological assignment right there.
Absolutely, God.
If you're an anthropologist, you could just focus on the family of the Grateful Dead and the following of what happened and everything that's happening still.
You know what they should do at the end of it is smile.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
smile.
It was 25 years ago still that weren't the Grateful Dead anymore. 25 or 26. Yeah, 25 years this year. Be 26 next year. And it's just ballooned and blossomed and still alive, and there's still a following.
I mean, how do we know that those hieroglyphics that have been removed already, that no one can tell what they are, don't say the Grateful Dead will save the universe?
Like the broken part of Egypt.
The broken parts of Egypt that are missing, that someone took off, they didn't want us to know the truth. How do we not know that that's... I think what's so amazing, too, is that so many things have spun out of the Grateful Dead's music. So many, from jam to music, or to bluegrass to... There's just so many different musical genres that have spun out of it, and bands like Fish and Panic, when they were like kind of some of the first ones to start
modeling after that,
spinning out of the scene, and then wow, the bluegrass, the jamgrass world just
like a band like Green Sky has a giant Grateful Dead size following, and they're young and they're fresh, and that's their new music that they get to enjoy. It's pretty cool. It's original for them. I mean, not all the bluegrass original, but to think about. Even me coming up very late in the Grateful Dead, I was lucky to be kind of part of it, But it wasn't the music that was thrust in front of me when I was that age, And they're this age, and the music's right there. And I'm excited about it.
I mean, the amount of time I spent on the road, I should have seen more shows. That's why I said I only went in. I feel bad that I only went into that many, because I spent so much time out there trying to make a living to get to the next show and stuff like that. So there was like so many shows that I missed, at least every other one when I was out on the road. But it's, you just feel like, so blessed that the heads, people are heads, they're born a head, as I call them, not necessarily a dead head, but this person who's already tuned into this magic thing we've all discovered. And they don't know it yet. No one's clued them in that they are one until someone brings them under their wing and brings them to their first show where they dance with all their friends and everything. And you know, it's like.
You can't believe there's that many people in one place there for the same idea and thing and feel the same way.
And then that's what's so amazing is now there's generations on generations on generations, and you got kids talking about how their grandma and grandpa went to Dead shows, and they're you know, and they're taking their own kids to shows.
Yeah.
And to see those multiple generations go experience it however they can. No, they didn't get to see the Dead, but they are going to go see Phil. They're going to go see Rat Dog. They're going to go see whatever is available. This music is so amazing. It's such a lifeblood thing for us that we are willing to go see whatever comes close.
Now, if you talk about like how many Grateful Dead shows I've seen, it's an interesting question. Like the band, the Grateful Dead I saw was 3, we'll say. But now since those days, all the other Grateful Dead like tribute bands, tribute nights, tribute shows, tribute weekends, I've had my share of hundreds of
and you stopped counting. You just
there's so many performances, but you still get excited when a band plays Direwolf. Or there's still a feeling of like that music still makes you feel the same way, even after they could never have burned me out on it. Except I'm already burnt out, and so then I like the Grateful Dead. So you can't burn out. I don't know. I love it. It's important for me. It's my history. It's part of
it should be a class. There should be a college course, the history of the Grateful Dead, because I'll tell you what, there's a history there.
There are Zappa classes, there are Beatles classes. Somewhere in San Francisco, probably, there's a Grateful Dead, primer class that you can take, I bet, Or just sit around with a bunch of heads for an evening around a fire and tell stories about the Grateful Dead, and I could tell 15 more easily of just crazy experiences that you can only experience there, and you can only have in these situations that occurred around that particular band and what they decided to do.
Well, I know you heard me say this before at the Backroom Lounge the night that Robert Hunter, we were celebrating Robert Hunter's passing, and that there was something about Hunter's lyrics, especially, and Barlow too, but Hunter's lyrics that on any given moment, at any given time in your life, when you're having the shittiest or the best time, it don't matter, but you're having a time that is like a monumental moment in your life, some lyric in some random tune is just going to pop on between 2 other songs that no one knew when this song was going to come on. A magic thing happens where Hunter's lyric reaches out and just grabs your heart. Just squeezes it real hard, and it don't kill you, but it's like, don't forget about what you got in here. There's just something about Hunter's lyrics. It's like he planned my life. He had this like giant plan.
He thought about everything he even thinks about.
There should be a documentary about Robert Hunter because that I've seen, because he's historical in the Grateful Dead, and he didn't play in the band. So I would like to see a documentary on Robert Hunter.
But that's got to be in the works somewhere. I'm sure there's something on YouTube already. I'll bet you $1, but that'd be a nice bio.
What is YouTube?
Because it'd be about the Grateful Dead. It'd be about all the other people he wrote music for. Because he wrote music for a shitload of people. That list came out whenever he passed away of all the songs he'd written.
David Gans has actually recorded a few of his tunes, and so has John Kadlicek. A few really good ones. I mean, some stuff that you're like, wow, that should have been a Dead song.
Went off in different directions of bands you wouldn't even think about. But he put his writing out everywhere he could, and the Grateful Dead just weren't really stuck. But that would be a great biopic because it would include a lot of information and fun things.
David Gans, got his book, Good Man.
I used to listen to him on the radio.
I still do on Sundays. I listen to him.
My first meeting with David Gans was at an old shoe show. He had backed up, and I was vending, and I was the record guy, and he's signing books, and everybody's over by the albums. He's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Whatever." Like, I'm David. Anyway, it was very nice. So we're friends now. Hey, David. So it was quite intriguing. Who I'm a nobody, and this guy knows over talking to him because he has headphones on. He didn't really care. It's very eclectic. Laura's read the book. Those stories, and very historical guy, David Gans. Knows that stuff.
And he's a hell of a performer, and a great guitarist, great singer.
Great singer. What was the bar we saw him at downtown? Anyway, David Gans. That was the story that all these people. He tapped me on the shoulder. Goes, "Who are you?"
He's pretty amazing. The Robert Hunter thing about the lyrics grabbing you. There have been times in my life where you didn't know what was going to happen next, or things were getting heavy, and you could put a Grateful Dead album on, and it would almost be his
documentaries. You see Sunshine Daydream, the movie, or the documentary about the real guys who did the...
I did, yes.
Yeah, I just saw. Yeah.
We talked about that with Carrie Fisher. That was week 3, man. Where you been?
Have you seen fish?
Yes. Have you seen fish?
No. What kind of fish?
I prefer crappie.
Yeah.
I like
comatose
crappie or bluegill or.
Absolutely. By the 5-gallon bucket full.
No, I never. Yeah, exactly. If you have a live well, if you don't catch 10, you throw them away. If you catch 10, you cook them in flame with butter and garlic.
Yeah, I like fish.
Fish. I can't see everything.
You can't see. Because you have your sunglasses on in the house.
You want to go see hours and spend $100, or you want to go to a festival for 3 days and see 30 bands?
That's why we don't follow fish anymore, Phil. That's why we go to the festival, because we've seen fish, or I have, and I've had the experience. I do prefer the more eclectic bands. I love fish. For the end of the earth, we just talked about that today. But I want to see 10 bands try to do it. You know.
Yeah, I know.
I still want to go see fish every now and then.
I'm not rich. I'm frugal, so I want to go to a festival.
But you still have to go back and see fish, though, because you'll see those other 10 bands try to do what they're doing, and it's good. I mean, all the way down to Twiddle, all of them, they're all trying to kind of do what Fish did. You know, they have that feeling. But then Fish comes on late at night, and you realize that's the real stuff.
You're like, oh, there's the Ferrari.
That's the real stuff.
That other one was just a Pinto.
The other stuff we ate
V8.
was not real. It was bunk, yeah. This is the real deal right here. Not to put down any of those other bands, but Fish is a great live band. Oh, shit.
Well, to see what they've inspired. They're just all the bands that, again, have come out of the Fish scene. They weren't even people who weren't even inspired by the Dead at all. You know.
Mace, have you seen Fish?
Yeah, I don't really know how many times. I went on tour for quite a few years in the late '90s vending, and again, I'm ashamed to say that I vended out in the lot more often than I went in. It was one of those things like I was trying to keep a business floating, and so I spent a lot of time working and saw fewer shows than I should have. But
okay, musically, what do you? Not the vibe. I can sense that it's great. Fish. I mean, is there a difference? Fish, Dead.
Like what kind? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But if you get into a Fish show and they're gonna blow you up.
Yeah.
There's the energy there. Naturally, there was something that had to graduate out of the energy that we got out of the psychedelic scene of the Grateful Dead. There had to be this next progression that could take it just that much further. Yeah. And that's
I'm sorry to interrupt. And every person who said it has said the same thing, that, yeah, they are that good. Laura's never seen it before. She did Baker's Done in New York. She's not a Dead fan. She saw them.
She did Baker's Dozen.
Never seen Fish.
Every Fish song ever.
All right. Sorry, Red.
No, you keep going. I was talking. You keep going. I'm sorry.
And if you put that thing down in your hand, because I don't have any right now, cut it out, Jeff, please. No, I have that.
Put that thing down. It's gone. This is.
Yes. So I'm done. Yeah. Well, I'm intrigued by Fish.
We should go to a Fish show.
Oh yeah, you need a fucking like Space Odyssey. You need a Harry Hood.
You like it.
You need. There's a bunch of things that you need in your life. You just don't know it.
Phil loves heavy, and they get real heavy sometimes. I mean, they get so heavy that it scares you. I mean, and then they get so light that it's a feather.
That's one of my favorite songs by Fish. Is Heavy. Heavy.
You dig them for sure, Phil. Yeah. Tonight, I'm not sure who the guest is. Is Phil the guest? Phil is the guest tonight. Phil Strauss, ladies and gentlemen. My record paint friend. I love you, Phil. Did I tell you that today?
I love you too, John. I love you too, Mace. Thank you for coming
Absolutely.
on the 14th show. It's overwhelming what's going on in the world, and we can't all be together. We're not getting political. Music's starting to come up. Everybody wear a mask if you have to. I don't know. I don't want to go there. People say,
wear a mask if you can.
Music, I miss music. Me and John are going to a couple festivals coming up 2 weeks in a row. Shouldn't mention that, but we are. If you want to announce where we're going, John, we're going to be vending artwork and great lineup at both. We'll be down there, downstate Illinois. So I'll let John lead it to, if you want to say Sugar Creek and something else.
You go ahead and say it, bud.
What's that?
You say it. You just said it.
Okay, what's the other one? I forgot.
The Boogie Family Retreat in New Berlin, Illinois, and then Sugar Creek in. But that's not. This isn't about me and you right now.
That's at the Dannenberg. That Boogie Family Retreat is at the Dannenberg Family Vineyard in New Berlin, Illinois. Limited tickets too, so get one if you need. It will be properly socially distanced festival.
It's outdoors and it's nice, breezy area. It's actually a nice spot. Yeah, I feel much more comfortable out there than I would be inside of any place.
Hey, Mace, have you ever played a Grateful Dead song?
Ever? Well, I just played a Grateful Dead song 10 minutes ago for you.
Well, I didn't hear that when I was outside. I was dealing with.
Well, fucking quit taking breaks whenever we have the guests on and they play
or
music.
Mace Original.
Mace Originals, there's a lot of very good Mace. Play another song. We appreciate something you wrote, Mace. And I think that'd be a great segue to that. Mace Hathaway, folks. There's all kinds of ways to find him. You can't miss him in public.
Yeah, I'm playing tonight in Decatur at Donnie's. And let's see, Sunday night I'm also playing at the New Berlin. In New Berlin at the Vineyard where that festival is this coming Sunday. And yeah, I have. You come find me online.
He has the best stickers too.
John Griffin Designs. John designs all my art.
Excuse me.
Oh, John, that guy.
I'd like to do a few pieces for Mace. Yes, that's.
I don't think I have a piece. I have one piece of art that's by somebody else. No, I have okay. I have
a
two.
few.
I have two, but I have multiple from you.
But now that I've done a few of your things, people will bring me the old Dirty River Ramblers album. I love this album cover. I'm like, that ain't mine, but that's okay.
Because it looks like it could be.
Yeah, I get that from time to time.
Yeah.
Who goes there? Hey, hello, love. Hello. Amy Griffin in the doorway.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Phil. Love you.
Love you too, honey.
All right, Mace Hathaway, folks.
Oh, let's see here. How about we tune it first? Tell one more joke.
One more joke, huh?
Or one more something. Tell one more something.
Knock knock jokes don't work as good.
TikTok jokes?
I don't know that.
It is some kind of big crazy thing that now the whole universe depends on TikTok or whatever it is, I guess.
Well, I'm still on Facebook. I like the MySpace of today, I guess.
Yeah.
It's okay.
My face.
Right.
Dead air, sorry.
There could be a whole show of just people telling stories with Grateful Dead. That'd be a call-in show. That could go on for. That'd be a great decades-long event. We have to incorporate that into some future project.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure my stories get old quick, but yeah, please, Mace Hathaway.
Still out of tune.
There's a whole part of the Grateful Dead that is usually labeled on the album's tuning. Sometimes it can go on for like 28 minutes at a time in between a song. Because there's a lot of instruments, there's a lot of things to tune.
There it is, but you know, if we were sitting there talking all that time, I could have had it tuned and ready to go.
I try to continue to entertain best I can. Mace Hathaway.
Well, they won't play no train songs on the radio, no, no. Folks say it's too old-fashioned, too easy to ignore. And I guess they're just not listening to the chug-a-lug in time. But the steam bubbling up and the drums spinning out, the train rolling down the line. The train rolling down the line. Oh, train song, another take me away. You're dropping me off out past Sorrow's End. Another says a lot about the life I got that you might not understand. Songs loosen up and allow your ears to bend. 'Cause this train song is rolling through again. There ain't nothing like a good train song penned in the county seat. The blues heart builds up time, bringing home number 9 up to speed. And the juice heart just keeps churning like a coal fire burning bright. Then the whistle blows, there she goes. Before you know it, she's out of sight. She's long gone out of sight. Oh, train song, no, take me away. Dropping me off out past Sorrow's End. Another says a lot about the life I got that you might not understand. Songs loosen up and allow your ears to bend. 'Cause this train again. There's 16 boxcars, one caboose, one wagon, a load of coal. This old Jenny, she tows them up and she breaks them down to go. She's a dragonfly, so we get on just fine. I give up my wife, I signed over my life, my home. This crooked line, train song, another take me away song. Drop me off out past sorrow's end. It says a lot about the life I got that you might not understand. So listen up and allow your ears to bend. This train song is rolling through. You better listen up what I've been saying, my friends. This train song right here, it's about to end.
I do love that song, man. That's so good. Train song, man. That just feels good. You buy that online somewhere?
You'd have to get in touch with me and I'd have to send you a CD.
You need to look up Mace Hathaway online. If one way or another, if you hadn't heard of it before today, or if you know somebody who'd enjoy that, man, pass it on. That's one of my favorite things right there.
There are some tracks. You can buy some of my tracks on Reverb Nation. It's actually all the only tracks I actually have for sale are all the stuff that was recorded around 2010 down in Nashville.
Yeah.
With like a bunch of like Nashville cats backing me up, and so it's
Nice.
It's produced to the nth degree, and it's
Oh,
not
sure.
at all like what I really.
Nah, when you present yourself, it's usually just you.
Really do, yeah.
And your heart and soul is your voice, your guitar. I always felt
It's hard to feel like you're representing yourself in that situation when it's put together by over a year and a half time, you know.
Yeah.
And you go in, just play your tracks. It's an awesome finished product.
You kind of go in there and do what you do like you're doing it, and then they add to it.
You put a scratch down first. You send them a scratch track, and
And
you
then
sing
go back
it.
and forth and layer. Put your track on top of it again.
Yeah, you send them what's called a GV, a guitar vocal, and it's just you playing a scratch. And then they take those. A guy who's basically it's his job to produce the session, sits down and writes out some charts for everybody in Nashville. Except it doesn't have any numbers, any letters on it. It's not like A and B and G. It's like 1, 2, 4, flat 5. Everything they do down there is in numbers,
So
and that way they can move around in
anywhere.
any key and know. And so basically, these guys have never even heard the scratch track until that day. They listen to the scratch track and about half of it, and then they walk into the studio, and you stand outside and sing the scratch track. It's not even your final recording, but then this is their final recording. It's like you sing another scratch just that goes along with what they're doing, so that they've got someone to listen to. And then about a year and a half later, they call you to Nashville, and then all the tracks are mixed from all the songs, and then they put the vocals on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip. Well, you got, if you can, any particular way whatsoever, get out and see Mace play live. It's definitely worthwhile show. What are you doing there, Phil?
Glasses off.
I was listening to Mace outside. It's delayed outside. Looking at it's hot outside. Looking at my garden. Mace, is that your guitar? Is that your buddy? That guitar, is that your buddy? You have a special guitar that you use?
Well, I pretty much only play these Talkmeans, but I've got a few different ones. Old Glory I had is the guitar that I don't have it here. She's been left at home now for quite a few tours because I basically took her full willy. I dug a hole all the way through the front. It didn't have a pick guard on it, and it just ended up with a big hole through it. But it's the guitar I really broke myself in on. And so that one really is the one I'm going to probably be buried with. All the rest of them are going to get willed to people. But there's a lot of them.
That's this would be your trigger, so to speak. Then.
Yeah, this is this one here is smaller.
Trigger 2.0.
Smaller, and it travels easy. But then a lot of if you come see me play live at a show, I'll have 3 or 4 different guitars up there because they're all tuned to different tunings. Otherwise, I got to stand there between songs and retune to a whole completely different tuning, and it's easier just to put this guitar down and grab that one that's already tuned weird, play a song, flip them back. So I carry multiple Talkmeans like this because they all sound the same, even though they're tuned different. They have the same preamp and everything, and so they just have a real flat.
Do you have names for them? Your guitars?
Just Glory, just my first one. And her name was Her for a long time, and that was a nickname given to the guitar by an ex-girlfriend.
Her.
Because it was one of those. Do you always have to bring her? You know, do you always have to lay her on the bed? You know, it was like it almost seemed like like a jealousy thing. So eventually, she needed a real name.
I have a Darlene and a Darlene. Yeah, those are my two.
And you know, and then I have a guitar at home named Vern, because it was a friend. It belonged to a friend of mine who died when he was 13 years old, and his parents gave me the guitar, and it was the first guitar I ever had. It's a round back Alvarez, one of those ones that a little fat kid, when he's wanting to play it, it goes like this. You try to hold it, it just rolls right off you. You can't like hold it up.
The early Alvarez are tricky.
Aluminum neck.
Yeah.
Aluminum neck that was painted black, and so I literally played the paint right off of the neck down to where the frets were just worn away. But Vern was my first guitar, named after my friend Vern, who passed away. So
they did eventually make an Alvarez that had like a flat edge on the bottom, because that rounded thing was cool, but it was hard to play. It would always spin up.
Yeah.
It wanted to dobro on you every time. Yeah.
No, and I got them stacked up. I've been buying guitars and just.
I think Chad Ing has joined the room. Should we let Chad Ing into the conversation? I just looked up here and I realized there's somebody waiting to come in, so we'll let him in and see what happens.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you don't have to leave, Phil. Phil, I think he has to pee a lot. He always gets up and moves. Rowdy, I'm assuming this is Chad. That's Chad. What's up, buddy?
Bam!
Our good friend Chad Ing joined the Phil and Jon Zone tonight, or just the Phil and Mace Zone right now. It's trying. It's a good image of it. There's a painting I did on his wall.
There's a heart. There's a Griffin Hartford.
Chad's
there,
basically
right?
got like a Griffin museum at his house.
Right?
Yeah. He inherited pieces after the High Note closed, and he had pieces that he was collecting. He bought pieces since then. He keeps saying he likes stuff. I got to kind of cut him off. Looks like he's maybe having.
Got to cut him off. I think you got a problem.
There's a few folks. The mushroom painting that I did yesterday. These two girls over in Indiana, they love the mushroom paintings, and when chat's loading, we'll try to figure it out. But they
Rowdy is coming to audio.
Yeah, it looks like he had to reconnect.
That's Chad, but he's not fresh. Let's see if I can click on something here. There's a more feature. Oh yeah, we should talk about what happened. We're gonna have to advertise that anyway.
Let's show it.
Put it in the studio, right? So I don't know if we're gonna get Chad or not. Chad Ing is the previous proprietor of the High Note that we were speaking of previously. Can you hear us, Chad? No. Here, watch. We'll try this. I'll do something real quick here. I think I can fluctuate your position here. Just readmitting. Let me start over. Colonel Rowdy, as he's known.
Aha! I see movement.
We got some kind of fleshy color. Now remember, this is a kid show.
I'm pretty sure that's an ear. That better be an ear.
You calling me? This is Chad. Hey, Chad, can you hear us, brother? Give us a call.
Right.
This might be part of his video from his endoscopy. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. The best thing about our show sometimes are the technical difficulties. Okay, that could look kind of dirty. I'm not sure what happened there.
FCC, I'm in.
We give no warnings. We make no promises.
If you really think my name is Phil, it's not.
I've wondered that about you, Phil. If maybe you were possibly in sort of a witness protection situation. Should we not talk about that on the show?
Yes, you can. I am Phil.
I think maybe you got a smudge on your lens there, buddy.
Well,
I think he doesn't know he's in now, and he's just holding the phone off to the side, and it's like pointing up at the ceiling and something.
Somebody
like
tag Chad Ing. Well, now his phone will ding. I don't know. Let's leave him there and see what happens. As long as he doesn't go take a leak or anything.
Right, he's actually there. We go. That's the
working
side
on
of his head, right?
I'm pretty sure he's working on it.
there's your dog bone. Come on,
Nice.
Chad. River.
The first 2 weeks we had not Jake. We had Pete Jive on the show the first 2 weeks, but couldn't quite get it figured out. He was on his phone. His audio would never connect, and he would always log in. We'd see him, and he would be confused, and then it would go away. And it happened like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So we're like, we need to do this like every week and just have you just do that. It'd be like nice David Letterman style gimmick to have like
Right.
somebody's appear. But then the third week you figure out the sound.
Have him not join you every week.
Yeah, just come in. This is our island. And we played him in with music. We played him out with music and introduced him. Like we talked about him. And so he got a little.
I think we're in his pocket now. That's his
That's the
heartbeat.
week that Mace was going to be on. I knew it would be a great show, and it's a great show, not just for people playing music, but talking about music, which I really enjoy.
I wish we could hear him.
Music, I don't know a chord of music, but I know good music, and Mace is a great musician, and his stories, I like it and thoroughly enjoy that. Thank you, Mace, for coming on.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity.
We love you, Mace. It's incredible.
I was just excited to get a chance to see the Griffins. You know, they always treat me like gold when I come to town.
You're always welcome here. We've had good experience with you from the beginning. And
I come here, I don't blow fuses. Oh, and if I do, I make sure to reset them.
yeah, we know where the breakers are.
Well, yeah, I want to hear some breaking of fuses too, but.
Well, before we know it, we'll be back to shows again. All we can have is hope.
I've been at a couple of social distance
Mace,
fests this year already.
What was your top 3 shows of your lifetime? When you see live in person, not playing, in person, what tickled your fancy there? What got you at a young age or an older age?
Well, my first Grateful Dead show, Alpine '89, 7/17/89.
I was there.
Was one of the most. And as I became a Grateful Dead tape collector over the years, I realized that I was blessed to have seen my first 3 shows were amazing.
Yeah.
I was absolutely blessed to have been that my friends decided that was my time to have to go because I wouldn't have been there. I didn't have any money. I didn't have my own transportation. I had no way to get there. It was 2 friends being like, "No, you are going, and you're getting a ticket, and you're going in." You know, and so those shows especially, they got to be like those 3 right there. Could be the top 3, but of performances from other people that I really, really enjoyed. When I was driving truck for Mickey Hart, we went out and did the Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival in Golden Gate Park, and Richard Thompson played.
One of my favorites.
Oh, and so that performance right there is absolutely one of, because I got to stand right there and watch his whole show. And
was he with the band or was just him?
No, just him.
See, that's awesome. Yeah.
Just him.
I'm going to cut to the chase because my top 2 shows of all time has to do with Richard Thompson and Patti Smith at Wells Park in Chicago back in the day. But Richard Thompson and Linda Thompson, they blew me away. So anyway.
And nowadays, I urge everybody.
Goosebumps.
I haven't got to see him live, but he's still with us. And I urge people all the time, go see Chris Smither. Go check out his music. I've never seen him live yet, but I believe he's one of the best songwriters of all time. And so many people don't even know who he is. And he's just, he's getting up in years a little bit, but his songs really they're like hunters. They grab you by the heart, you know. And that's the concert I would go to if I could. Today, if someone said, you know what, you can either play your show or you can go to Chicago in all this evil and go see Chris Smither, I'd be in all the evil seeing Chris Smither because I'm so sold on that guy.
How do you say the last name?
Smither. So it's like Smithers, Smith, E-R, Smither.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you brought up Richard Thompson and you brought up this name, so Richard Thompson, eclectic, some with Mekons of John Langford and Patti Smith, you know, not Smythe.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Patti Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. Original punk band. Not Patti Smith, not Todd Schneider's.
You've never seen Todd Snyder, have you? Is this when we're talking about Todd now?
No, I have not. I was hoping to see him at Shoe Fest. Sorry about that.
I told y'all, the reason I know...
Yeah.
So,
he's not going to go to the show. My favorite concert was at Alpine Valley, Allman Brothers, with Hank Williams Jr. Best show I've ever seen.
Hank Williams Jr. with the Allman Brothers? Like double bill?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I used to go to Alpine Valley. I had a cottage 4 miles away. When you go that way, in Elkhorn, Lake Wandawega, Jeremy and Dolly know of it, on 9 acres, all Capone's own. But we had a little way from Alpine. I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan's last show there in Alpine Valley. Alpine Valley, a great place back in the day.
Yeah, that's a great venue.
Oh, and you know, another show that I would have to put way up there when I was driving for Dark Star. See, this always happened when I was working for someone on the road, and I'd get a chance to actually see a show. Because if you're not playing on the bill with somebody, you're usually playing your own show somewhere. Or, so you miss a lot of great opportunities to see music when you're a roadie or a musician. But when I was with Dark Star, we were at Sewanee one time, and on one of the side stages, the Allman Brothers had come to play the big stage, and it was the setup with Derek and Warren on guitar. And they also brought Derek's band, the Derek Trucks Band, with Kofi and O'Teal, and played on this little teeny tiny stage where the same stage Dark Star played on, and we were right there camped out with those guys, and their show just, because it was such an intimate setting, and there I was right there, no security between me and it was just, I think that's the coolest stuff, when you get to just kind of really, it's like you're sitting on your own couch at home, catching that, your favorite thing to, it's just so relaxed at a show like that, so.
Yeah, just the word Allman Brothers is a great show of great past experiences we've seen live. Did
you see the Chicago Riviera Allman Brothers shows in 1996? Woo!
No,
I saw them in 1996 at Deer Creek.
God, they were hot that year. They were so good that year.
Yeah. No, I saw them in 96 at Deer Creek that year.
I saw Greg Allman, Dickie Betts. A lot of the stuff I should not talk on lives, but anyway. But I told John the story about Allman Brothers Band with Dickie Betts at College DuPage. Great show with Muddy Waters opening up. Got to meet Muddy Waters. Been to his house in Westmont. Did some sound effects. Had no clue. Stan Getz was there, but Allman Brothers, Muddy Waters. Shows my age, great stuff, great music.
Drops in names like you think Stan Getz.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's so many great shows that you forget about them until you're starting to rally on yourself. You're like, okay, well, God, put my hat on. What did I see? Like Bela Fleck. I saw Bela Fleck one time in Chicago, and Howard Levy just blew my mind. Like Howard Levy.
Blew my mind at Blue Ox. Bela Fleck, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a good show.
And I'm super jealous of Bela right now. I got to tell, if I met him, I'd have to be straight up honest. I'm so jealous of you, dude, because he gets to go on the road with the woman he loves, with Abigail Washburn, and raise their kid and make music together, and travel the world.
A very relaxed concert situation usually. Yeah.
Wow, it's I'm just so jealous of that situation. I've always told myself that you shouldn't bring a lady into your life if you live on the road, if you know that you're married to the music, and you know that the road is going to always dictate and probably be first in line. It's kind of rude of you to meet someone that is, if she's so cool in the first place that you would even consider letting her be the other person in your life, then you're an absolute asshole for letting her in, because you know that you live on the road and you know you're going to destroy this amazing person.
There aren't too many stories about dads that were like, Jerry's and John Denver's and people like that when they're on the road. Their family were never happy. There's always unhappiness there. They are traveling a lot. Yeah.
Well, you hear Trixie now talk a lot nicer than she could find a way.
To.
She couldn't find a way to be positive towards a lot of deadheads because her dad was gone out of her life, and he was out taking care of his giant flock of children, us, So I could see why nowadays she's got more of a connection.
Well,
and, I think not that she didn't always have that connection, but what I'm saying is I absolutely understand why there might be some.
Be uncomfortable. Just exactly what you just said about. That is, you really are married to the music, and you're going to travel, and you're going to be gone all the time. The only way to really to seek out that comfort of life is to just go and be out there in the world as much as you can.
I mean, you can meet someone that wants to go out and make music with you and travel and
play
see
music too,
yeah.
and you write songs together, and you're comfortable. And Bela wasn't even really touring; he didn't have to tour. He was kind of Flecktones were in the past, Of course, Newgrass Revival was very in the past.
Oh, her voice is haunting.
But he gets hooked up with her, and they start playing, and he's got this whole new project he can produce and go on the road with, and it's good, So it can't beat that, It's good music too.
Yeah, I've been listening to Molly Tuttle with Billy Strings. Got to meet Molly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Dirty, smoking.
See, some people are blessed. The world discovers them younger and just can't wait to tell their friends about them. And then there's a way larger number of musicians who people don't really figure out who they are until about 2 months before they die.
Or after they're gone.
Or after they're gone, when their songbook is now sellable. Now the record companies and the people are like, oh, that person really wrote that many tunes? Well, we should be interested. Well, you didn't even know who he was while he was alive. Why are you interested now? Just because of dollar signs? It ain't about money. People don't. They might accidentally slip into this thing where it's all about money, but hopefully they don't. If you're blessed to get to be a musician and get to call playing music your job, you kind of owe it to the universe to find some humble like existence with that.
It ain't gonna happen. We're gonna be artists or semi-musicians, and when you get bigger, you're gonna have a manager, and the band doesn't really care, but there's an underlying meaning that they want the dollar, and understand it. We all need money, and as artists, I think you and me are, John.
Artists get agents, same idea. It's a manager basically for artwork. I'm an agent, but I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
none of them are calling me. I don't have.
Well, that's you don't know. I've been looking for a booking agent for 10 years.
Yeah, they're not
Finding
looking for
someone
us.
that wants to book a solo guy is few and far between. Because they can make more money booking a band.
Yeah.
And so there's just it's
sucks
tougher to
because the band
sell a
makes less
solo
money
guy.
usually because they're a band. It's solo music. What a balance.
I've been
is there?
looking for a booking agent forever, and I've actually approached some people who actually already work with solo artists. You know, thinking that maybe I might already kind of fit into their equation.
Yeah, I make shit on these paintings, and if some agent took my shit to some gallery in Chicago, and they start making big money, they can have some of it. I don't know. I'd never be able to sell it like that, but the idea that's what you're thinking about. If you're going to get bigger, and you're talking about management, then you got like, yeah, I don't know. It depends on how you feel, how comfortable.
I like making people smile, and that's just my.
Do you have any art agent working with you these days?
Excuse me?
You have an art agent working with you these days?
Are you kidding?
Do you have an agent? Or you just have people donating records to you? Does anybody ever bring you records?
Yeah, people brought me tons of records in Bardwood today. The neighbor brought me over a 120-year-old piece of wood. They want me to do a walk-in set. Yeah, I get all sorts of stuff, but it's.
Yeah, I'm just.
It's selling yourself, though. My old man, he said nobody else can toot your horn. You know, so if you're trying to make noise, you better get it done yourself.
Because I never will. I'm a giving person. I don't really need anything. I want people to smile, and it's a bad thing in life, but yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna add Chad again. See where he's at. This is all unfiltered. We don't know where he's at. He sent me a message saying he tried to get in.
We're in the inner ear this time. Yeah.
Hey, we got Chad.
Hey.
Say something, big brother.
Move your thumb. Hey, River.
There he is.
Can you hear us?
Can you see us?
I haven't seen him move his mouth yet. Say something. Chad Ying, man.
We're now talking in sign language.
Chad's in the zone, man. I can't hear you, though.
Can you hear us? Can you see us?
How far is homespun pizza from you, John?
Not very far.
What?
10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, maybe. Depending on town.
Can you see us, Chad?
Like a farmer, I mean, you live in the country. When my uncles used to stay up in Cribbs, Wisconsin, it's right down the road. It's 45 minutes away.
Oh, it's across town here, but it's still only about 10, 15 minutes drive over there. Here.
10, 15.
He still has to go set up all of his gear at some point and eat pizza.
Yeah, I'm going to go about 20 minutes
There we
away
go.
and go
I think I heard it.
house over mine tonight.
I can do this one thing where I can try this thing here.
Hey, Chad.
This is our friend Chad Ying.
Chad?
Should I report him? No. We'll
Well,
spotlight him.
everything recorded. Hey, bud.
You're on the show, bud. Yep, you can see it. We can see you. Rowdy's connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. Oh, all right. And so when that line goes off the screen, I guess, then he'll be there. Oh.
Can I hear you now?
Yeah!
Hey.
Are you there?
What's up, brother?
Howdy, howdy. That was a little more technical than I thought.
You did it. You got further than Pete Jai the first couple times.
We were were connected there for a few. It looked like we were in your inner ear.
Oh,
He's delayed. That's why. He's got to turn down his TV wherever he's watching it.
We can hear
Cheers, Chad.
How have you been, Mace? Your beard looks as good as ever.
I'm good, brother. Thank you. Yeah, my beard's just been growing me. That's all we've been doing. It's been in charge.
Turn your TV down.
I'm trying to figure out my TV is running lag again. I probably should turn the TV off, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Depends. You gonna bring us any kind of good stuff for the show? Or are you just gonna dance or do jazz hands?
Jazz hands.
I'm trying to figure things out. I seen you guys talk about this earlier.
Yep. So
Oh, yeah.
I got one around the wall for the same night.
Yeah,
Bill.
I sure do.
See, Phil, I told you people were watching the show.
Yeah, it's pretty cool you got that, Chad. Been there, you're a good man. The I Know was a good time. The only time I've been there, but I heard great things about it. Went to the, you had another festival at the, like a club or something outside. Or
Oh, at the Marine Corps?
yeah, that was very cool, too. You did a great job.
Yeah, was that the Red, White, and Boom?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
You did a couple
Yeah.
shows out there. There was a show with
fun. That was
Well,
like,
that's when I first got to meet you. Good stuff. So,
oh,
Dr. Mace.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. All good.
This is for your dog, Chad. River. You didn't get the dog.
That is River.
I know.
Oh, man.
I was supposed to
She is something. She's a smart hound, I'll tell you what. Them mutts are where it's at.
You know, Chad, it's been so long since I've seen you. I was beginning to think we wasn't friends anymore, man. Miss you, brother.
We're dog sitting this weekend, actually, and they're all in the backyard running.
Who's dog?
Jake Biga is on a floatzilla. There's like hundreds and hundreds of people that get in a kayak and they float the river. And we're watching his dog so he can go enjoy floatzilla.
Yeah. That's some great paintings by John Griffin behind you. I love that Hartford one. I love the green. That green really pops behind you.
All right.
That really pops. Great job, John.
I painted those.
You were sleeping. You were sleeping.
I slept right there underneath them one night.
So, Chad, are you still building you still going to build yourself a house on wheels?
House on wheels, yes. Or we had a hold of some property and then it fell through. But we still are kind of clinging on to that. Might still work out. And I'm going to do like a tiny, I think, like a 30 by 30, which isn't real tiny, but then the house on wheels is kind of sitting still for the moment. But yes, I'm about ready to go tiny, I think.
Every time I see a trailer sitting somewhere, I think of you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he could build him a house in there.
I know. I would love to get a big old flatbed and just build on it, man. That'd be fun.
I think the cheapest way to go about that is find one of these fifth-wheel trailers, campers that's already been blown over and wrecked, and tear everything off of the flatbed, and now you got that flatbed ready to go with nothing else on it. Start fresh. That'd be the cheapest trailer you could buy.
Yeah, use the frame.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you gotta
I seen you were over in Stumpy Joeville.
Oh, I definitely should do a shout out to Stumpy because last couple nights Stumpy Joe was so kind to me. Let me play at his Wednesday night open mic jam, and then last night he had a gal up from Nashville at the American Legion and gave me a whole set in the middle of their show and passed the bucket for me and made me a whole bunch of tip money. And so, thank you, Stumpy.
Nice. Yeah, Stumpy's a good dude. He's an awesome guy. We love Stumpy in these parts.
If you're in the market for a one-string paddle bass, Stumpy's your guy. He makes one wicked bass guitar out of a paddle.
Well, here's one that the only one that I have left from. I think it was your birthday. It was your birthday. The high note. And they have the Woodland Remedy.
Right.
The high note, Chad's Bill's birthday jam, Folk and Tuesday, January 12th, 2016. Remember that, Chad?
That's my birthday.
Okay, so where are all those kids?
Next time I see you, that's for you, buddy.
Where are all those
That-
kids? Because I know that Dobro. I talked to.
Western Colorado, right, Chad?
Him at Durango.
I talked to
I
the.
believe it's in
the fiddle player, too,
Durango
she was down
area,
in,
I believe.
They all moved out there together.
Oh, it's the banjo player, Michelle. One of them's
well,
down in Florida right now. Has a duet.
Michelle's not with the
Michelle, which was the
Yeah.
fiddle
When I
player.
talked to her on the internet, she's in a band in
fiddle
Florida
player.
with someone.
No, they went out there, and
I
Greg
didn't know
became
I
like,
had
I was leaving the show. These guys, we pay these guys to be on the show. They just walk away like they got to piss or something. Hey, man, I'm not letting you on the show if you're just going to leave.
I was trying to get more lighting on this mug, you know? I'm
Yeah,
sitting in the dark.
The shadows look good on you there, Chad.
Whose banjo is that?
That's Chad's banjo.
Man, that is an Epiphone from 1972
Nice.
Wow.
or 3.
Just as nice
She's
as any
got a little
Gibson from
work
that
on
era.
her. She's got Grover tuners on her. She's not a bad. I wish I could play her. I wish I could give her the appreciation she deserves.
My friend got a record, and it's called the Scruggs something tutorial record. It's actually a record that teaches you how to play the banjo. How to do the Earl Scruggs
I
on vinyl.
tried.
Have you seen
I got
that?
ADD, man.
Yeah, me too. You're right.
I tried with Hartford. Hartford has
Hey,
the double.
Hey, I got one word to
Yeah.
say about I can't learn to play a musical instrument. 2 words actually, and this goes to out to the whole universe.
Tell me, Mace.
Stevie Wonder.
It's true. You can play it.
Right?
Because Stevie Wonder learned how to do everything. That means
Right.
anybody can learn how to do something.
Yeah.
It's
Chad,
just-
You told me to shut the fuck up.
hey, no, listen, man. You got. I can't do no spoons like you can do the spoons. And say everybody's got a little niche into music.
There's your light.
Whoa!
I know, where'd that come from? Hello.
It must have
Hey.
automatically adjusted for you.
Yeah.
You got an
That's
assistant there working
JJ.
with
I
you?
got
All right.
JJ Jenkins in. He's my light guy tonight.
You got JJ on lights. Yeah.
Shout out
Didn't even know you were going to
He's
show
in
with you hired a
production.
lighting assistant. Yeah.
He's been slowed down a bit, but they're doing like a drive-in up there off Lakeshore now, I guess, for like 3 months.
Are you going to try to get tickets to that High Hawk show?
I
Lacrosse? I got invited, so I think I can just go.
mean, yeah, we're going to the Billy Strings drive-in coming up on the 16th and 17th of September.
I saw that, yeah.
That's going to be interesting. JJ will be there working that in McHenry, Illinois.
Yeah.
That was kind of like
Sold
boy,
out. in
it was
20
like
minutes.
buying tickets to a Fish front row. You're trying to get front row tickets to a Fish show. It was like getting tickets up in that drive-in thing. It was
Yeah, Elderbeard I know got front rows for that.
Did he?
yeah.
The
we're-
car- it's
we're
the
up in
carload
front
thing, yeah.
for the first night, I think. But yeah, man, everybody's trying to figure out how to figure it out.
Go to Sugar Creek.
Sugar
Sugar
Creek.
Creek is going to be fun.
Yeah, me and Jen are going.
Is there coffee in that creek? Because I like coffee and sugar.
There's probably
Don't go fire
crappie.
booth, man.
There's crappie, I think. Not coffee, but
There's
crappie.
crappie? Are they crappy or are they crop?
There's fishing, man. I don't know. Fuck, you eat fish? You do eat fish. Dude makes a wicked fish fry.
Hey, check me out. Look, you guys know this one?
He's got the
I know
band.
Mace likes his tie-dye, so I
Oh,
picked
number
out a
7?
nice one for the night. That's John Hartford's.
Yeah, it's nice.
Princess
This is
Festival,
the
yeah.
beauty right
That
here.
guy
This is
there
one of my
works his
favorite
butt off.
tie-dyes.
Russell.
Other than the one that John's wearing there, I have one just like that Mace hooked me up with.
But yeah, that guy that printed that shirt at Hartford, he's one of the hardest working fellas I ever saw.
Russell.
That ain't no kidding.
Is
Yeah.
his name Tim?
That guy is
Russell.
loose, man.
Russell, the guy with the covered wagon.
Non-stop.
Oh man, he brings that covered wagon in there, and you're just like, "What is this thing?" And then he opens it all up, and you're just even more blown away after it's opened up.
He has got so much freaking clothes in there. So many
His
articles of
System,
clothing. I mean,
he's got the system
everything.
down.
Well, and his family works hard too. Not just him, but his
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
got the
his
help.
family's there with him, and they're all busting ass.
And you can't buy a Hartford shirt the next year at Hartford. You got to get the year you're there because there won't be any for sale ever again.
Well, they don't bring the screens again.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. They
What
won't.
was his name, John? Tim?
Russell?
Russell.
Always holding that pipe and
Yeah.
looking at you side-eyed.
Russell.
I'll bet you
He'll
that
show up
guy's
in
been
his
printing
pipe, Tim.
T-shirts for 50 years on.
He's
Yeah.
never worked and his wife's sweating his ass off. Or she is.
You playing Tune in Tokyo there, buddy?
What's that?
Squishing our heads.
It was breaking up a little bit. I had to get the band on, you know?
Yeah, well, there ain't no guarantees on this program. This is only for fun, so we
I
see
was
whatever comes out of it comes out of it.
1270 band. 1270 band's where it's at, I found.
Well, what are you doing? We're going to 2 festivals in the next 3 weeks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
Sugar Creek is
I've
fun.
actually got a little. I'm going to hold a date like September 3rd because I think we're going to have a little private shindig that's going to be kind of an invite only thing. But
Sounds like a really good time.
something close to our family and friends kind of thing. Nothing too out of hand, but telling you guys, you might want to mark your calendars.
I already did. When did you say the date on that was?
It'd be the
September
3rd
3rd?
September. The
Okay.
3rd. It's a weeknight. Do you get out? Does
Same as
Laura
that.
let you
It's the
out
same
on
as that.
weeknights,
Oh,
Phil?
no, it's a weeknight? What
Yes.
night? What weeknight?
I think it'd be a Thursday.
I'll be there. Yeah, for sure. I think there's something that weekend, but
Should I message Laura and make sure you can get out on a weeknight, Phil?
how much should you even be talking about this shit? Have you talked to the man himself? I know the details.
Well, it's kind of there's some it's a pretty close deal.
But it's gonna be kind of a message only situation.
Tiny
If you come on
and
Thursday, is there a place to crash for the night?
That's what we're hoping for. Yeah, a little camping
bring
and
it
stuff.
past or-
You know, you have to take Friday off because we'll do some camping.
We'd be into it, totally. Laura's got a lot of vacation dates, and she'd love to do that.
Phil, I'll tell you later exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah, she's...
We probably shouldn't talk about the actual details of it right
We
away.
don't want to knock. You know, like I said, it's going to be like a 50-person gig is where we're going to run it at, and it's
And more than
family
50
and friends.
And if this happens, more than 50 people are gonna want to be at it.
Well, 50, I'm not involved, man. I'm 51.
I know what you're 51. Oh,
Yeah, I thought you were like 54. Hold on a second. Go back on that math a little bit there, buddy. That was at your birthday like a couple weeks ago. 51, my ass.
No, I'm the 51st guest. No, I'm
I
way
understand.
over.
I'm giving a shit.
This guy here, he'll be playing.
That's
He'll be
pretty
there
cool.
playing.
There's a banjo dial.
That's pretty cool.
This is what happens
Rocket
when your
Joe.
friends really understand you. So a friend of
Joe.
ours' mom passed
Rocket Joe.
away, and when she was in her house packing things away, this spoke to
Sell
her
that thought of
saying,
That
Chad.
speaks to me, man. That's
So it came to me through all that, and I was like, wow, when you're going through something like that, and you think of me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think about you all the time, Chad.
But it's like it's an old Sprite can that they did like the skin of the
Oh, crazy! Like shrimp, they cut it into little pieces and then used it to like
right. It's
wrap on
super
something else.
crazy,
That is
man.
pretty cool.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
a
And
real
the end
artist
of the,
there.
You know, the end of the
bet you-
can. There's the banjo, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I
For
bet you
some-
whoever
for
makes that has at least 3 Band-Aids on their fingers right now.
right. And then I heard you guys were talking about this band earlier.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's how me and Mace knew each other, but we really connected with the Dirt River Ramblers, and
Mhm.
we had fun up in the old high note, I'll tell you.
Yeah. That was a fun group of guys, man.
Yeah, and they're all
They were.
fiddle player moved to Alaska, and mando player and the bass player still live in Omaha.
Yeah.
Y'all just took different tracks.
Well, yeah, that's the way it always is, isn't it? You know, it's really hard to find
Right.
everybody that's to be on the same road for a long time.
Hey,
Sure.
Chad, where's your other half?
She's laying down. We took in a dog today, and she got him in the morning, so she got ran pretty rugged, so she took a chance to get a nap in.
Tell her I said hello. Me and Laura say hello.
Same here. Same
Will
here.
do. Will do.
September 3rd, if not Sugar Creek or the week before, we will let you know the closest.
When is Sugar Creek?
10th and 11th of September, I think.
10th and
Correct.
11th.
And the lineup for the show the week before in Springfield.
11th and 12th.
is-
Oh, the
And-
Sunshine Daydream thing?
And the week after that is...
No.
Well, see, there's 3.
Yeah,
There's,
you
a
gotta
whole,
go to both.
there's so many events, though, Phil. There's another event I didn't even talk about.
Excellent Brainchild. I don't know.
That's the same weekend as what Chad's talking about, but that'd be the Friday of his Thursday. So we'd go do Chad's thing, and then Friday we'd go down to Springfield and sit up over there.
Liberty
Oh,
weekend.
that's right after, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So same weekend. But you could, it's doable because it's not the same day.
Well,
I've done 2 festivals in
Kansas
one weekend.
Thursday, and then we can go leave from there to go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
You're catching up, Phil. You're catching up.
So we'll be on the road, actually. It'll be more like a tour. Something to say that, right?
Springfield's just a little bump down the road for me.
Yeah, they ain't far from it.
You know, it's like 6 hours for me. That's not a bump down.
Oh, Sugar Creek is about 6 hours.
If you're already at me on Thursday, then Springfield's just a bump down the road.
I got you, buddy.
You put on one side of a freaking Maxell freaking 90-minute cassette, and you're there.
You still have a cassette player?
I
do. I have one in my RV. And it's awesome.
I am going to give you a whole bunch of dead tapes.
Yes, my RV that's one of the quality things. It came with a tape deck, and up in the top, up in the little cabinet, it's got an 11 CD JVC pack up there that I can load up. And it came loaded with Widespread Panic, JGB,
Fish, it did have good music in
the
it.
band. Like, all this shit was already in it when we bought it.
Just think about how much money you spent back in the day when every show that you got needed to go onto a Maxell XL2S gold tape. That was like $12. $12 for 3 cassettes. I must have spent $50,000.
Well, at some shows it was like 5, 6 tapes, depending on the show they played. Could have been 5 tapes, man.
Neighbors and friends.
I still got a couple in the package, still in the package.
Wow.
2 of them.
I don't have any kind of tape recorder anymore.
People keep bringing me albums and driftwood and barnwood and albums and cassettes and CDs and think I can paint them. But I got a bunch of 8-tracks, Foghat, Deep Purple, and cassettes that are original. Some aren't open. It's pretty cool to flashback to see that stuff. Bunch of
I got some Hartford 8-tracks in my collection from.
That's pretty tight. They're collectible, Chip.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I know my collectibles. Yeah, certain stuff. I got a great thing from John. The Hartford album, you got that, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't a collectible. Chad got that too.
Yeah, I got one for my
right
birthday
there on
from
his-
you.
right there on his end table. I got it right there on the record player.
Rolling
Matter
Stone.
of fact, how about that?
So
Yeah.
the funny thing about the
Look
record.
at all this fun art he's got in here.
I know.
I mean, come on. Through the years, the connections. I was no part of this, but I feel connected to this.
You are part of that.
Yeah.
Ted.
Quick story about the inside artwork. Did you ever meet? You remember Tom Martin?
I mean, and there's so many people that should feel connected because there's a family that
Remember him?
this
He's the guy
record
that I
represents
read his
right
book
there.
4 times while I
There's
was
a
there.
family
I
that
read the
this record
Steamboat
represents.
Cornfield book
Yeah,
over and
that's
over and
Tom.
over and over.
So you remember Tom Martin? He used to tell stories up at the pavilion at Hartford, and he brought John Hartford's
Right.
hat. We all put it on. You know the guy I'm talking about? He just came to tell stories about John Hartford. He
Right.
he passed away when we were putting this album together. So the little house inside there, this little house, this is on the house. That was a picture that John Hartford drew for him for his business card. So that's his business card inside the album. That's Tom Martin's business card.
Is that Tom who built the cabins with him?
Yes.
He built the cabin and he built the wheelhouse. He lived with him. He passed
Yeah.
away this year, right at the beginning of COVID. Not from it, but he had health issues.
So sad. And
He was a really great person. One of my best friends.
Yeah,
I got photographs of him right here on my wall and like stuff he made for me. I mean, very important guy, and that's his business card. And I got permission from everything to put it in there because it's John Hartford's drawing. But all the rest of the drawings are mine. But yeah, that's for Tom.
Be
Tom
able
Martin.
to touch the history of that though, and to be able to.
Well, the first year I was at Hartford, I got to meet Tom, and I got to where he had John Hartford. He built log cabins with John Hartford, correct?
Yeah, that's the original business card right there.
Yeah, and under a glass case, I got to wear it and painting an album with John Hartford's hat on. That was Tom. And he wanted an album of a log cabin. I didn't do it a year or 2, and then some that. I finally gave it to him, and he's a good guy. Anyway.
Hey, I have a Tom Martin story too. I met him at my first time at Hartford. He had the book Steamboat in a Cornfield, and I went over there and I started reading it. And the first page, after the first couple pages of reading the words, I could hear John Hartford singing it. I literally could hear it, and I ended up reading the book about 4 times while I was there and talked to him a bunch. And it even got to the point where I tried to find the book. I went and I talked to John Hartford's family about it. They couldn't figure out where to find the book because it had been lost through Penguin. The rights were lost. And so I go to my local library and I ask the library if they can find it just so that I can read it. They find me one. It's in Texas at a library, and they have it shipped to Iowa. So the lady sends me the thing saying you can come get the Steamboat in the Cornfield, and I come down and I look at it. It's not at all like Tom Martin's. See, Tom's, when you opened up the front page of Tom's, it was signed from John Hartford. John Hartford gave his copy of Steamboat in the Cornfield to Tom, and it said right inside the front cover.
Man.
So it didn't look like Tom's, but it looked completely different. It had a stamp on it, and it looked like a seal of the old boat company that wrecked the boat. And so it was like first edition. This book comes to me. It's first edition. I'm just so amazed by it. I open it. It was released in 1986. I'm only the second person to have ever checked the book out. Since 1986, I'm only the second person to have checked it out. It almost made me cry. Like it was such a moment that I decided to do something that some people might say is bad. But I'll tell you what, I got in touch with the library and I told them I lost it and I told them I'd pay for it because I just could not fathom the fact that only 2 people had ever checked that book out.
Yeah. Yeah, and the story about him, to Tom, who gave the album, who wanted something, he gave me a John Hartford album to paint on.
Wow.
I don't do it. So the album that I gave him,
I'm going to kick your ass if you painted on it.
But he said he had it, and it's his childhood buddy who built cabins. And he said,
are
you sure? He goes, I want it. And 2 years later, he got it. Cried, smiled, and God bless your soul, young man.
Yeah, he was a good man. He's a good man. Good friend of mine. And he would, like, of all the people we went to Hartford with, we would talk all weekend. And then, like, at least once a month, all year long, he would text me, like, once a month. And something just silly. Just like, oh, I wish you could come for dinner. I built this cabin. Good, hope you're okay, whatever. But like once a month, he would check in with me and send me a message,
So my question is, did the texts have an accent?
Well, they were kind of like the way he talked. No,
yeah,
the way he talked.
He had a very distinctive drawl. He had a very distinctive drawl.
And he spoke in little broken sentences, kind of a little bit, and he'd tell the story, and we'd get excited. But we spent so much time together, 9 years at Hartford, just sitting there talking all weekend long.
Sounds like good people.
Good man. So that on the inside of the album, that's his artwork, and it says R.I.P. Tom inside of it. And I talked to his wife when he passed, and I hate that kind of stuff.
Hey, John,
hey,
I'm going to cut to the chase right now. I've never done Zoom before the show. This is our 14th show. I've never done it before. Usually we're at a festival giving hugs. This is great, but it sucks. I want to give everybody a hug.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. No doubt about that, man.
And when I go see Miles Over Mountains tonight, I'll be social distancing, and I'll do that. But I'll say hi to everybody. Say John, Mace, and everybody who's watching. I'll tell Miles Over Mountain live show tonight, up in a great patio in Batavia.
What's the man who player's name in Miles Over Mountain?
Sean Shields.
Sean Shields, yeah. Tell Sean for
John
sure.
Shields, Caleb, and Phil.
Yeah, we all say hey for sure. Those guys are awesome. Yeah.
My good buddies.
I haven't got to play back up there at Mackey's in quite a while. Sean's always real good about giving me Sunday shows when I'm coming through.
Bill Mackey's a great guy.
Haven't been up that far that north in a while.
Together.
He went to school at Milliken too.
Oh, Sean Shield went to Milliken?
He went to Milliken.
I didn't know that.
And he every now and then, maybe it was the first time this year he came and played the winery. Him and the boys came and did a little show in the back of the winery to a dozen of us. It was awesome. He's got family here too.
You ever see when Phil plays bass, he does the punkish stuff. If you like a little edge of a bluegrass, Phil is a great punky big bassist.
Nice.
See them tonight.
Well, that's good.
Would you
go see live music.
Can come and spend it at our house. It's 10 minutes away from us. Come on over.
I'll be right there, bud. 3.5 hours.
I got 25 of us coming your way.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks, Chad. Go to Sugar Creek or the week before. John posted something in Springfield.
Okay.
Take Jamie.
Yeah, I want to look into that Springfield one. That's pretty close to me.
Okay.
Phil and Jon Zone. You realize how long we've been on for, Phil?
Let me see. Oh, almost 2 hours?
No, 14 weeks, man.
What?
14 weeks, brother.
Oh, I mean, looking at that. Yeah, I know it. It's been 14. It up, and it's quite amazing. Here's rock number 14.
Nice. Put that up on the screen.
Yeah.
Show it again, Phil. And tell us something. Show that rock again.
I love you. I love you, John. I love you, Chad. Love you, Mace. And it's great to see you guys. I give you a big hug. And if I see it, I don't think I can give you a non-social. I'll give you a hug. This virtual stuff is good and bad. You look like Les Claypool. And I did a Les Claypool.
He does have a Les Claypool thing going right there.
He's in front of the screen, too. I think he's playing with us.
They had. I did a Primus Sucks. Someone wanted a Primus Sucks.
Well, because that's their thing.
Yeah, they insist on being said that they suck, yeah.
I've never seen Primus. I know who
it was
Les
at the beginning.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, it was.
Does this look like Les?
Yeah, less is more there, buddy. Less is more.
Just like George Clinton and Parr, they had this deal written into theirs that at the end of the night, the power has to be shut off on them. That they will play until the power is shut off. Because that's it's just part of their shtick. There was a George Clinton Parliament
I heard I listened to WXRT, and it's the only station I listen to. I don't iPad, and I heard George P. and the Funkadelic and Stevie Wonder Higher Ground on the radio today, driving somewhere, and cranked it up. Beautiful thing.
Tom Marker's the man. I don't know if he's still on XRT, but he always was. I love Tom Marker.
Tom Marker, yeah, I'm a Chicago guy, and I'm a big XRT guy, and it's the only thing we listen to. We don't simulcast, or it's WXRT, so if I hit that button, it's going to be XRT. Tom Marker, Terry Leonard, all the people I've met him on, Marty Leonard's, been to shows at Double Door and Metro, just rambling about music.
Now, the benefit of living closer to the city is you got
and
more
play
radio stations.
and I love music. I miss it. And,
yeah, we sure do.
What are you talking about?
Are we live, Phil?
I'm not. I haven't got high all day. I don't have anything.
I said, are we live, brother?
I'm crabby.
Hey, don't you have a store there?
Hi, Tracy Kenny.
Hi, Trace.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Blotto girl.
I don't know if she's on there anymore.
How you doing?
Don't you have a store in Aurora that you can go buy weed at?
I'm not going to go to a store and buy anything.
I know, but you probably have one there.
He's 51. He's still waiting for that discount.
Yeah. No, I just...
The taxes aren't worth it, probably. But I'm just saying,
I'm
if you were really
stuck, worried about it. I'll leave that alone. I'm good.
Go get you a couple dog walkers.
I'm going to be at Miles Over Mountain Show.
Dog walkers, yeah.
We hang up, we're leaving, and we're going to go to the deck and come on over.
Tracy said,
if you've ever been to River's Edge, and their balcony up top is really eclectic, it's all barnwood, outdoor bar, it's really happening. Really, really happening.
Yeah.
I love River's Edge.
In Batavia.
Yeah, I've been there two times.
Not when I've been there.
No, not when you. Why would I go there when you were there?
Hey, wait a minute. I live right down the block. You can go over and shoot pool at our house. You got a pool table.
Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Chad, it's a false promise, Chad. It's a false promise. That pool table's got so much shit you have to move to play pool. You haven't cleared that pool table yet, have you? All the stuff.
I will shoot you down, Phil. I will shoot you down on the table.
You probably would kick my ass. Yeah, I'm not a.
I would totally kick your ass. No question that.
You probably would, Chad, but that's some good. Pool table's ready to roll. It's when summer's over, when it's fall season,
you only got one side to play off. So you got to figure out all that.
Have to use the other end of the stick.
Ready to roll. I seen what you did there.
Hey, no, the pool table is a false promise. There's too much. You got to move too much stuff to play pool, Phil. Laura's probably saying the same thing in the backyard right now. You didn't move all that stuff yet, did you?
So, since we're talking about pool, I say we let Mace play one for us.
Mace, you guys know a song for us, brother?
I don't know if I have a song about pool.
Well, we have to be that cool. What's Yeah, let's do that.
Thanks, Jack.
Virgil Kane is my name, and served on the Danville train. To Stoneman's Calvary come, tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we were hungry, just barely alive. I made 10, Richmond fell. It's a time I'll never walk so well. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They said, na 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 na. Like my father before me, I'm a peaceful man. Like my brother before me, who took the rebel stand. He was just 18, pride and great, till the Yankee put him in his grave. By the blood down beneath my feet, you can't raise a cane back up when he's in the field. The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They said, na 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 na. Back with my wife in Tennessee, one day she called me. Virgil, quick, come see. There goes Robert E. Lee. I don't mind chopping wood, and I don't care if the money's no good. Take what you need and you leave the rest. They should never have taken American bed. The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they rolled Dixie down, and all the people were singing. They said, na 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 na.
Mace, absolutely.
Wow.
That's
Man,
awesome.
ain't nothing better than the band.
There really ain't.
Dude, that, again, back to the RV with the big old CD pack. I have band live 2 CDs, and that's like Jamie's go-to. Like, she gets in the driver's seat, she wants the band on.
Is it the last waltz?
6 hours.
Is it the last waltz?
Yes. Yeah.
And when you get that album, you get a whole bunch of other people mixed in
I
there
mean,
too.
there ain't much better driving music than the last waltz, to be honest.
That's a hell of a night of music, man. Or 2
Yeah,
nights of
Ronnie
music, whatever it was.
Hawkins, and I mean, there's
Joni Mitchell.
so many great. Neil
I
Young.
just watched that this week.
Yeah.
I don't see how they got like 28 songs on one CD, is my question.
I would like to listen to the live CDs of it because
I was
only
intrigued
seen
how they
movies.
just wanted to
It was a
quit.
couple nights concert, I think.
I'll bet you what you'll find if you take that CD out, Chad, and look at it next to another CD, it's thicker, top to bottom. And they made a lot of DVDs that way that there's information on the backside of the CD, believe it or not. And so you never know. It could be one of those situations that they figured out. It's one of those CDs that they figured out how to get a lot more memory on than just those.
Well, it's insane. Yeah, it's insane. It's like 20. I mean, 28 might be exaggerated, but yeah.
None of them are super long.
We get so many songs on TV, and it was like
that was basically like
15 or 20, 25 on each CD. So that's like, you know, that's quite a big catalog.
That's a hell of a show to put on.
What's your poison there, Chad? Miller Lite?
Tonight it is.
Yeah. What's your of all time? What's your favorite?
PBR.
PBR?
Captain Jerry Rum.
PBR.
Coors Light for me. No IPA.
My granddad raised me PBR.
Yeah, so they had at the bar. The high note had at it. I remember always getting PBRs.
Yeah, the $2 bombers.
Hey, you just handed them to me. I drank them. I don't know how much they were. I think you just gave them to me.
The high note is now a Bible study.
Is it? Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it got bought and it's a Bible study. So I'm hoping that they like cleanse that place a bit.
No, you guys cleansed it. You cleansed it from the
previous owner.
Yeah,
The history of it. Historical Mason building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad, but
Good experience,
it is. One of these days I'm gonna sit on the edge of a river and well.
Some of the best memories are things that only happened a couple times, man.
Are you going to homespun with Mace tonight, John?
I'm not sure yet if I'm going out or not. I have to make that decision here in a little bit.
Yeah. What time does that go on? Because I'm only an hour away.
The opening act starts at about 8:30 or 9, between 8:30 and 9. Then I'm on after.
I bet I can't get Jamie to do it.
I bet you $1 that you probably ain't coming. I'll bet $1.
I probably should wrap it.
Yeah, Mace Hathaway. Everybody give him up for Mace. Thank you for coming, Mace.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. I love you guys.
I put his name on the
See ya.
feed.
Hey, and you know, we were talking about having stuff saved on our calendar, Chad. I've got the date saved for the next boat show. I mean, I don't know when it is, and you don't know when it is, but I've got the date saved. So don't forget that.
It was supposed to be mid-October this year, but that kind of got put on the hold.
I'd love to be part of that, man. I would love to be part of that show.
It's definitely not a social distance room. Last year it was so cold on that boat ride that we were all hugging butts the whole night.
It gets tight. Now next year, hopefully, if things ring themselves out, then I want to do like what we planned this year was going to be a spring and then a fall. So I'll try to do that next year.
Excellent.
Now keep me in mind. I want to be part of the cornstalk production stuff.
Thanks, Mace.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Yeah, man. Mace, you fit right up in there.
And I love y'all. Everybody be safe.
Yeah.
Grow a mask. Wear a mask. I mean.
Much love. Yeah.
To all them miles of mountain boys that I love them, give them big old air five from 6 feet away for me, Phil.
You got it, buddy. I'll be there in a few minutes. Yeah, we're going to take off. Give a bite to eat. I was about 20 minutes away. Love you. Tell Jamie I said hello. River, I got something for your dog. And
that's beautiful. Thank you, Phil. That's awesome. Thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Much love.
Love y'all.
Yeah. Well, I think you're good, man. Well, I think we're going to go offline, Phil, and then we can talk offline.
Okay.
Thank everybody for coming. Do your little good night.
2 hours is fast. I knew Mace would. That was a beautiful thing.
That was a good conversation. Yeah. You do your say good night, Grace, or whatever they say.
Oh, they're all on. Chad's still on. That's fine.
That's fine if he's still on.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get out of here.
No, you don't have to.
Hush, remove your ass.
Night,
I know, but I'm trying to figure out how to shut her down.
Right, Dad. I just give it, brother. Thank you, Mace. Throw a mask, everybody. Comment where? Comment here. I'm here, Scott Jarhead. We are going offline. It's really good that you guys could all get here tonight. We're sorry that if you missed the show tonight, it was Mace Hathaway. You'll have to go back and watch it later. It was good, a little 2-hour production. I don't know. I'm going to thank my sponsors tonight. My sponsors are Tom Harmon Photography, also the underwriter for this program, Tom Harmon. I can't remember the number that goes after. It's like 417 or 7112 or shit. I can't remember. If you pick up Tom Harmon on archive.org, he records everything in the universe. Such a good amount of music. I'm also sponsored by My Tall Tripod on YouTube. I'm not really sponsored by anybody, but these are the people we love. So you want to share the people that you love, the world, and thank y'all for coming tonight. Hopefully keep tuned, because I'm really looking forward to some big time guests. I'm going to pause this for a second and give a little teaser.
I know what we're going to have, and it's going to be a...
Should I say something? I don't know.
I can't say anything. Hold on, we're still live.
No, I won't say anything about the other two guests I talked about. There were hints in the show tonight about a guest that I'm working on.
I can't do that. She doesn't even.
No, I would like me and Mace had mentioned that there's a guest we could get that could be very awesome. But you know what? You'll just have to stay tuned and become members of the Phil and Jon Zone group and share your fun stories there about what you get out of the show. And subscribe or below, or they say on YouTube, you'll like it, comment. We appreciate everybody coming into the show and with us. It's really fun.
I want to thank John Griffin for having me on this 14-week escapade of beautiful stuff of talking to my good friend. I really appreciate it, and I am the way I am, and I'll music. I hope to see you all and give you all a big hug.
Yeah, very soon. Going offline in 3.